Gon Freecss grew up on the peaceful Whale Island, believing that his parents had died when he was very young, until he discovered the truth that would change his life forever. His father, Ging Freecss, was actually alive and was one of the most talented and mysterious hunters in the world. Ging had left Gon in the care of his Aunt Mito because he wanted to pursue the dangerous and exciting life of a hunter, traveling across unknown lands, discovering ancient secrets, and facing powerful enemies. Rather than feeling abandoned forever, Gon became fascinated by his father's decision and began to believe that becoming a hunter himself might allow him to understand Ging. Determined to follow the same path, Gon trained his body and instincts while living in the wild forests around his island. His natural curiosity, extraordinary physical ability, courage, and cheerful personality helped him survive situations that would have frightened ordinary children. Eventually, when Gon was old enough, he received permission from Mito to leave Whale Island and take the hunter examination. The journey immediately became a test of his determination because the hunter examination was famous for being extremely difficult, dangerous, and unpredictable. On his way to the examination site, Gon met several people who would become important companions in his life. The first was Kurapika, a calm and intelligent young man from the Kurapika clan who wanted to become a hunter so that he could gain the resources necessary to find the criminals responsible for destroying his people. Another candidate was Leorio, a loud, ambitious, and sometimes selfish young man who dreamed of becoming a doctor and earning enough money to help people who could not afford medical treatment. Although Gon and Leorio initially disagreed constantly, their different personalities slowly developed into genuine friendship. During the examination, they also encountered Killua Zoldyck, a mysterious boy from the infamous Zoldyck family of assassins. Killua was incredibly skilled, intelligent, and confident, yet beneath his playful personality, he carried the burden of being raised as a killer. Gon quickly became fascinated by Killua and treated him as a normal friend rather than fearing his family background. As the examination continued, the four young candidates faced exhausting races, dangerous creatures, psychological challenges, battles, and opponents who were far stronger than they appeared. One particularly mysterious examiner was Hisoka, a powerful and unpredictable fighter who became interested in Gon after recognizing the boy's hidden potential. Instead of simply trying to eliminate Gon, Hisoka watched him carefully, believing that Gon could eventually become strong enough to provide an exciting challenge. Through every stage of the examination, Gon continued moving forward with determination, while Kurapika, Leorio, and Killua discovered that their individual goals were slowly becoming connected. Their journey had only begun, but the hunter examination would become the first major step toward a much larger adventure involving friendship, revenge, extraordinary abilities, dangerous organizations, and secrets surrounding Ging Freecss. After the hunter examination, Gon, Killua, Kurapika, and Leorio began following separate paths, while remaining connected by the friendship they had formed during their dangerous journey. Gon and Killua soon traveled together to Kukuru Mountain, where Killua returned to his family estate after leaving the examination early because of a decision forced upon him by his older brother Illumi. Gon refused to abandon his new friend and, together with Leorio and Kurapika, confronted the Zoldyck family to bring Killua back. Although the family was extremely powerful and feared throughout the world, Gon's determination eventually convinced Killua to leave with him. The two boys then began a new chapter of their adventure, traveling together and searching for ways to become stronger. Their next destination was Heaven's Arena, a massive battle tower where fighters from around the world competed on different floors to earn money and recognition. Gon and Killua entered the arena and quickly discovered that physical strength alone was not enough to survive against experienced fighters. There, they met Wing, a skilled martial artist who introduced them to Nun, the mysterious energy system used by powerful hunters and warriors. Nun allowed its users to control their life energy and develop unique abilities based on their personalities and natural talents. Gon learned to strengthen his body and concentrate his aura, while Killua discovered that his training as an assassin gave him extraordinary control and reflexes. Their progress eventually brought them into conflict with Hisoka, who had already recognized Gon's potential during the hunter examination. Gon challenged Hisoka because he wanted to repay a debt and prove that he had become stronger. Although Gon was still far weaker than Hisoka, he managed to surprise the experienced fighter and demonstrated that his potential was greater than expected. After their battles at Heaven's Arena, Gon and Killua returned to Whale Island, where Gon finally learned more about his father's activities and received a strange game called Greed Island. The game was created by Ging and several powerful nin users, and its world was far more dangerous than an ordinary video game. Gon became convinced that Greed Island could contain clues about Jing's location, so he and Killua decided to enter it. Inside Greed Island, they encountered dangerous monsters, powerful players, complicated nin abilities, and challenges that required intelligence as well as strength. They eventually met Biscuit Kruger, an experienced nun master who became their teacher and pushed both boys through intense training. Under Biscuit's guidance, Gon and Killua dramatically improved their abilities, learning to control their aura with greater precision and developing techniques that reflected their individual fighting styles. Their time on Greed Island also introduced them to stronger enemies, including the terrifying Bomber, whose abilities threatened everyone inside the game. Gon refused to surrender, and with Killua's support and Biscuit's guidance, he prepared himself for one of the most important battles of his young life. The journey through Greed Island was no longer simply a search for Ging. It had become a test of friendship, courage, strategy, and the determination to overcome opponents who seemed impossible to defeat.